first question. Bhagavan, what will happen after January 15th in the Oneness community, Bhagavan?
Please translate the question. All these years we have been preparing you. Please translate. All these years we have been preparing you. And the process was intended to work on yourself. Please translate. Now we have your role is to receive what we are going to give. Please translate. Now, for example, we have been asking you to look into yourself, become aware of this, become aware of that, stay with this, stay with that. All these things you have tried to the extent possible. Shall I go ahead? From January 15th onwards, the Diksha, a new Diksha would be introduced, which is for you to receive what we are giving. These are powerful Dikshas which would put you into either awakened states or make you awakened. These Dikshas, to be exact, would start from January 29th. we will move on to the next question.
Beloved Bhagavan, what is Austria's task, the trainers and blessing givers' task, especially in 2012 and beyond?
Austria's task is to get awakened, and though Austria is now slow, it will soon pick up great speed. Next question.
Dear Bhagavan, the Austrians tend to complain often and are easily pessimistic. Could you tell us how to transform this aspect in order to enable more lightness and movement of our country? Could you please bless us to help us see the love behind all these suffering, Bhagavan?
It is perfectly okay. It is Austria's way. That would not prove to be any obstruction for awakening.
Why, dear Bhagavan, do I often have the feeling of divinity in my heart, and then again I stand against oneness and have doubts? If this is the right way for me, Bhagavan?
This happens to most people, but eventually a strong bond gets established between you and the divine.
Beloved Bhagavan, since the Oneness Deepening course in Bhakti Yoga, my relationship to the inner God has become more and more lively, sincere and profound. There are still days, though, where I cannot relate well to my inner God, where the mind is noisy and active, and it is hard to break down the wall. It seems as if it were a resistance to God. My beloved Bhagavan, can you help me, and can you bless all the attendants here in order to have a profound, vivid, and persistent contact with their inner God in great love and gratitude?
The new Diksha with increased power would take care of all these problems.
Thank you, Bhagavan. Dear Bhagavan, we all notice how the level of energy has gone up, and thereby the process of clearance in ourselves has been intensified drastically, even for those who have participated in several oneness courses in India. It seems as if the basic blockades and fears come up, which have shaped our personality. We are in a continuous process. Under these circumstances, it is sometimes difficult to be there for other oneness trainers. One has the feeling that a personal breakthrough and the liberation of the self is probably more constructive and more efficient for others than holding courses without harmony in oneself. Am I right, Bhagavan? What should trainers do in such a situation, Bhagavan? Thank you, Bhagavan.
That is the ideal situation where you are awakened and do courses. Please translate. But till such time that happens, even if you are not awakened, you must conduct courses, because the blocks you are dealing with are not your blocks or my blocks, but this mankind's blocks.
Thank you, Bhagavan. What exactly is the difference between consciousness and awareness?
Consciousness may be aware or may not be aware. For example, if there's a hurt in you, you could be conscious of the hurt, but you may not be aware of the hurt. To be aware is something which happens from moment to moment. Please translate. Yes.
Thank you, Bhagavan. How can I find harmony in my spiritual and my worldly life? I do know that actually there is no contradiction. Nevertheless, I often feel a painful conflict. What can I do, Bhagavan?
When there is pain, if you stay with the pain, the conflict would automatically be resolved.
Thank you, Bhagavan. Why do I need relationships with other people if I have to manage everything on my own after all?
Relationship is life. Relationship is a mirror in which you can see yourself. If you can see yourself, you become awakened.
Thank you, Bhagavan. Dear Bhagavan, in my everyday life, I often panic to make a wrong decision. What should I do to become free of this?
If you stay with the panic, the fear would be gone and the panic would disappear.
Thank you, Bhagavan. Dear Bhagavan, how can we as unawakened people figure out the resistance formed by our conditioning more easily? Please help us to understand it better and to deal with it. Thank you, dear Bhagavan. This is the last question, Bhagavan.
All these problems would be taken care of when we introduce the new powerful Dikshas. Now that the questions are over, we will meditate for a few minutes.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Love you all. Love you.